The episode starts with the class rep calling out to Haruka loudly because he wasn't paying attention. Haruka finally listens and is surprised to see the class rep there. He addresses her as "Ma'am," which annoys the class rep. She snaps at him, reminding him that they've known each other since elementary school and insists he call her by her name. Haruka quickly apologizes. Meanwhile, the other girls arrive, exhausted from all the walking. The class rep then asks Haruka what's going on with Shimazaki and the others, as they seem to be acting strangely. Haruka hesitates, thinking about how to explain that he accidentally subjugated all the girls. He eventually explains the situation, shocking the class rep, who exclaims, "Why did you subjugate them? You should have used that power on monsters, not them." Haruka apologizes, saying he doesn't even know how it happened. At this point, all the other girls start looking at Haruka oddly, which makes him feel nervous. Trying to escape the situation, Haruka says, "Okay, I'll be going now." But the girls stop him, leaving him feeling a bit down as he mutters, "Can I even go home? I'm a loner, just let me leave." The class rep then shakes Shimazaki to bring her back to her senses. When Shimazaki finally wakes up, she says she's okay, which makes the class rep happy. The class rep asks Shimazaki what Haruka did to them. Haruka tries to leave again, saying, "You can ask her, I'll be on my way." But the class rep tells him to sit down quietly, and he has no choice but to comply. Shimazaki explains to the girls what had happened, while Haruka sits by himself, bored. He thinks, "I'm bored, maybe I should practice expanding my house. Can I build a basement?" He decides to try using his magic, but as he does, there's an explosion, and he sinks into the ground. The class rep is shocked and scolds him, saying, "I told you to sit quietly." Haruka apologizes, explaining he got bored. After this, the class rep tells Haruka that Shimazaki explained everything, and they know he came to help them and the others. Haruka is shocked and thinks to himself, "When did I ever say that?" All the girls start thanking Haruka, and he asks, "Can I go home now?" But the girls tell him, "No, won't you help us?" The class rep then asks Haruka, "You're going home? But where is your home?" Haruka replies, "It's the house I built." This surprises the class rep and the other girls, who praise Haruka for building a house. The girls then hold a meeting, discussing what to do next. They ask Haruka, "How many people can your house accommodate?" Haruka answers, "About 250 people. It has furniture, a kitchen, a restroom, and even a bathroom." Hearing this, the class rep exclaims, "You've been living in a mansion all this time while we've been sleeping in tents?" Haruka thinks to himself, "I'm also building a guest room, but I shouldn't tell them about that." Haruka is now quite scared and says, "High school girls at my house, and all the girls from my class too." Haruka's mind starts wandering to bad thoughts, so the class rep gets angry at him and says, "Stop thinking like that." In the next scene, we see Haruka taking all of them to his house. When they reach Haruka's house, we see that all the girls are very tired and comment, "Haruka walks too fast." Haruka then welcomes them to his home, and all the girls are amazed at how big his house is. They are all very happy and say, "Finally, we don't have to stay in the forest anymore." Haruka starts explaining to them where the kitchen and restroom are, but no one is really listening to him. The girls go straight to the bathroom and start undressing to take a bath. Seeing this, Haruka gets embarrassed and says, "Don't do that." But no one listens to him, and the girls calmly start taking their baths. Haruka gets even more flustered and wonders how he's going to control himself. In the next scene, we see Haruka is so embarrassed that he decides to go outside and sleep in the tent to control himself. While he's resting in the tent, the class rep comes by and thanks him for saving the girls. She explains that Oda and his friends had abandoned them, as well as the other boys, so they were all worried about what to do. But thanks to Haruka, they were able to manage. She says, "The rooms here are fancy, the food is good, and there's a bathroom, so everyone's mood has improved." She continues, "I'm the class rep, and I should have been representing everyone, but I wasn't able to do that." Haruka reassures her, saying, "No, you've always done that. You protected everyone today too." The class rep, feeling a bit down, says, "But I can't do what Oda and the others can." Haruka calms her down and says, "You don't need to do that. They are nerds and knew what to do if they got Isekai'd, so they were already prepared. But you didn't have that knowledge, so there's no need to compare yourself. Besides, they're the strange ones." The class rep feels a bit better and says, "Thank you, you've cheered me up." Then she starts joking. "But you have a house, food, and you can even defeat monsters, so does that mean you're stronger than the nerds?" Haruka laughs and says, "No, it's nothing like that." After that, the class rep leaves. On the other side, we see all the girls sleeping comfortably. Since they are all sleeping close to him, Haruka can't seem to fall asleep. He is too embarrassed and shy. Later, when he wakes up, he finds one of the girls telling him, "Breakfast is ready, wake up." Then, Haruka tries to learn about fishing from one of the class girls. She says, "Watch closely this time." After saying this, she uses her electric magic again, and at that moment, Haruka slightly blocks it. He then uses his packing skill on her lightning magic. As a result, we see that Haruka can now use lightning magic too. Using this, he manages to catch the fish, and since it's his first time catching a fish, he gets really excited. Haruka realizes he has gained lightning magic, which surprises both the class rep and the other girl. They asked him, "What did you do?" Haruka explains that he also gained lightning magic and tells them, "I can use my packing skill on magic to acquire any elemental magic." The class rep remarks, "Your power is really overpowered." To which Haruka responds, "Yeah, maybe it's a combined effect of packing and master of none. Looks like even the most useless skill has some value." In the next scene, we see all the girls enjoying the water. Haruka asks the class rep if they've decided where they'll go next. She replies that they haven't decided yet but might head to the town, and some of the girls want to find the nurse. Just then, the girls arrive and say they want to thank the nurse and apologize to her. The class rep then suggests they level up a bit before going to town. Haruka agrees and says, "If that's your plan, fine, I'll help you all level up." The class rep is pleased and says, "Okay, we're not planning to attack the nurse. You thought we would, right?" Haruka replies, "Yeah, that's what I thought, but it's okay." After that, Haruka gathers the girls and says, "Before we start, I want to know everyone's level." The girls reveal their levels, ranging from 16, 17, 18, to 20. Haruka feels a bit demotivated and says, "The lowest level among the girls is 16, while I'm only at level 7. The girls ask, "What happened? Are we going to start or not?" Haruka wonders what he can teach them, as they're already quite strong. Then, he notices some kobolds in the background and says, "Let's start by defeating these kobolds. Don't worry, their level is low, so you can defeat them easily." The girls get excited and say, "Alright, we'll beat them easily." But in the next scene, we see the girls lose miserably to the kobolds, which shocks Haruka. He says, "The girls are terrible." The girls retort, "You didn't tell us the kobolds bite. We didn't know they were this fast." In the next scene, the girls come into Haruka's tent and start discussing how to defeat the kobolds. Haruka, sitting there, wonders why the girls are in his tent. The girls explain that they're doing an after-battle review. They come up with a plan to defeat the kobolds and leave the tent, making Haruka happy. But just then, the girl from the morning approaches him and apologizes. She tells him she was testing him because she was really upset when the boys attacked them and was worried he might do the same. Haruka thinks about how much the girls have endured. The girl then says, "But you didn't do anything like that. Instead, you gave us shelter, food, and even taught us how to fight. You're not like the other guys." She adds that she'll come to wake him up again when the fish is ready. Haruka, happy, says, "Alright, fish girl." The girl quickly replies, "Don't call me that." In the next scene, we see that Haruka has been given the fish, and he enjoys eating it. Meanwhile, the girls are shown to be motivated and ready to face the kobolds again. However, the class rep stops them and says they need to train first before they can defeat the kobolds. Haruka is happy and says, "The class rep is absolutely right." In the following scene, the class rep is shown training the girls, getting them ready to fight the kobolds. Haruka notices that some girls pretend to be tired and others make excuses about being unwell, which frustrates him. He worries that the class rep's training will be wasted. Suddenly, a kobold attacks one of the girls, but the fish girl arrives just in time to save her. Then, Shimazaki's group appears and together, they defeat the kobolds. After the victory, the girls celebrate, saying, "We did it! We've avenged ourselves!" The class rep, happy, cheers with them. Haruka, relieved, lies down and says, "I was really worried, but they handled it well. Now that the girls are leaving, I can finally enjoy my freedom." Just then, the class rep shows up and says, "Thanks for your help. Now we can go to town with you." Haruka, surprised, says, "When did I say I'm going?" The class rep replies, "You're coming, whether you like it or not." Haruka feels trapped. In the next scene, the class rep tells the girls to get ready. Everyone starts packing their stuff. Haruka and the fish girl tie up a lot of supplies, and soon, the preparations are complete, and they're ready to head to town. As the girls leave, Haruka tells the class rep, "When we get there, anything could happen, so let's be prepared." In the following scene, we see a thunderstorm and a boy running in fear. While running, he trips on a large stone, injuring himself slightly. But despite the fear, he refuses to give up and stands up again to run. However, the person chasing him catches up. The boy, terrified, pleads, "Please don't kill me." He claims he doesn't have any skills, but the person doesn't believe him and starts strangling him. The boy tries to defend himself but can't, and due to the strangulation, he dies on the spot. The person smiles smugly and leaves quietly. And with that, the episode ends.